Hello and welcome everyone back to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, and most of my players, as always. I don't know. We are missing one degenerate at the moment. Hopefully, he will be here soon. Um, but as a quick reminder, also may play around with my audio in this session. We'll have to see how things are working. Um, but as a quick reminder. So in the last episode, our players had come across a fight between some fetits and some abominations, which kind of looked like fetits. To be fair, although abominated. After helping the fetits and clearing up some mix-ups and kind of accepting being taken kind of quote unquote prisoner for a couple of hours, um, they made it into the Emperor's Sanctum, the fetits, again quote unquote, main stronghold. There they met a very angry wolf man along with some other, animal human hybrid creatures. I know, disgusting, filthy creatures. Um, but yes, the angry one had quite a lot of technology on him, and he was quite angry. However, um, there was another fetit who used her mind powers to knock on the psyche's head after being rejected first, and then realizing, hang on a minute, those weren't Jehovah's Witnesses. The door being opened, our psyche and the wise one had a little chit chat. A question was asked, and a seemingly correct answer was given. Um, the group were told that they could remain in the town, but that the elder would like to speak to at least one of them tomorrow. But the option is open to all of you if you wish. You were also placed in the care of Kai Muttermouth's clan, the the Foxkin. God, this was a terrible idea. Why did I do this? It's why. So yes, they
You
have.
only help yourself to blame.
I do. I thought this would be funny to start with, and now I'm just getting more and more saddened. So yes, they bedded down with the Wolfkin tribe, um, clan rather, and they were provided actually really nice tents. I know it's a tent, but think of this more as an Arabian Bedouin tent. It's actually more than high enough for you to walk in, not crouch down or crawl in. Um, there is a camp style bed. There's a table with a jug with clean water in it and a bowl so you can wash your face and yeah, sure, why not? And towels as well. It's you can clearly tell that this is advanced as shit for what you've seen most locals having. Um, as well, you had a meal cooked for you by essentially Muttermouth and his family, um, which they were all using actual cooking equipment already. You didn't have to build it for them, unlike the people of Izmir. So it was quite late when you guys got here. So it would probably be easier. I think I may have already done it. Can't quite remember now. Nah, I'll move you along a day. So yeah, you have your food and hop crawl walk into your tents. Struggling already. You walk into your tents and you lay down and get some sleep. Or for those of you who just lay there for a little bit, it definitely seems like the community has all um, kind of uniformly at this hour gone to sleep, rather than the people of Izmir who basically stayed up most of the night drinking and singing and fornicating. Um, so as we come to the morning of the 37th, it is 37 days you have been here on this world. You are awoken by the sounds of like something frying. It's hot oils and then something sizzling. Um, outside.
Okay, I'll pop my head out and take a look. I take it it's the fitteds.
Yeah, pretty much. You can see that they've all kind of gathered around the fireplace area, and they're currently frying some sort of batter in oil.
Very much more advanced than the tribals, at least. Even if they're also tribal. But
It's not like that's a hard part to clear.
yeah, true.
I've seen
Oh,
primitives with the better civilization than those ancestors.
ancestors. True enough. True enough. Still, I'll make my way on over and look for a seat. Ask Buttermouth. So, what is cooking this morning then?
Morning. My wife make jauta, sweet dough fried in oil. And as you look down, Heinrich, you can hear a whistling coming from a kettle. And you can see that basically it's like drop scones or drop cakes.
Oh,
Did I hear something that vaguely sounds like food?
yes.
It's
It's vaguely sound like food. It actually is food. Like I said, they're more advanced than fucking Izmir. Like
the
Harry said, it's not that hard, but still.
older boxman who is in robes. Um, he takes the whistling pot um, off the heat of the fire and begins pouring it into an odd device that seems to have a cloth lined something or other with some. There's a delicious smell. Yeah, Heinrich. I was right. My brain. Don't doubt it always. Heinrich. There's a delicious smell, and you're like, fuck me. It's the smell of recap.
Huh. Okay, I'll
As you take a seat and
Oh,
others begin gathering, you would notice that there are more than enough cups. Everyone.
yeah, I was going to ask, is it fine if we sit alongside you all? And is it?
From Tamara. You guys all? Yeah, you should be able to see the names. So from
Yep.
no, hang on. Yeah, Tamara. From Tamara, you hear yes, sit and we will serve. And number of plates are brought out. Thomas, the one pouring the recaf, looks up at you, Heinrich. Long time since we see humans of decent breed. Please tell me more about the Imperium or where you come from. I only have a small number of texts to go on.
Which one was this? Sorry.
This is Thomas. He seems to be an older
Ah, the craftsman.
fox. He has robes on that do mimic kind of certainly not ecclesiarchy. It's administratum style robes.
Okay. Well, this is just to say we're the Galactic Empire, the Imperium.
Um, can I look at this tinkerer person?
Yeah. You mean Thomas?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to take a closer look at what he's got.
So as you just look at him normally, freebie look, he doesn't seem to have much technology on him. But when you look over at his like Bidawin style tent, there are a lot more boxes placed around the outside, and they seem to be fairly trusting, as you know, most of them have their doors open, or maybe they just want to let the funk, air out. Who knows? You crane your head a little bit, and you can see in there that he has a number of what definitely look like toolboxes. You can see padlocks on them. You'll have to give me an actual awareness test if you want to notice anything else. It does look like
I'll go
he
and
is a
awareness.
tinkerer. But you don't get any big details, Craig, but you do see he does seem to have toolboxes. He does have lots of other boxes and containers and things. Sorry, not containers. Well, yeah. But when I say a container, my mind goes to like a container from a container ship. Much smaller, just for like something that you'd get
Yeah,
components
those
out of.
metal boxes thingies you see often used as video game dressing.
Yeah. So he has lots of stuff around, which definitely like, tickles your fancy as someone who must have tools and equipment and things. As he's talking to Heinrich, so what ordo you from? Administratum? Ecclesiarchy? Noble house, maybe.
Remind my memory again. Am I Mechanicus
Yeah,
or Ordo Mechanicus?
No, you're Mechanicus, but he clearly knows
You're
where
the
you're
Mechanicus.
from because of your iconography on your person. Because the tech priests wear it proudly, unless you very specifically said to me, I want to cover everything up.
Oh no, I mean, God, Trey would probably not even realize. Probably not think there would be anyone on this planet who would recognize it. And if they do, they're either hostile or it's in their benefit.
We do know of. Oh, I think no. Hang on. Was it Mothermouth who mentioned it before that there are Mechanicus to the south?
I think
was the
Forge Brothers also did.
Shadow Warriors, the Shadowkin, were the ones that informed you
Oh,
that they are on world, and they were the ones who were like, we will search in the south, in the east, they were saying where they were searching for them. But I do believe the brothers did also say that they come from a settlement to the west.
To the south.
They've come from the west.
No, they come from the west.
I mean, the Mechanicus
Yes,
are supposedly in the south.
Yes, you are quite correct. So he mainly says it to Heinrich, but as Abby comes forth and he notices, now your robes were Astra Telepathica. Is that correct? You have the symbols on it.
Yep.
Okay, so he
They
does take
probably
note.
wouldn't be looking all that great by now, but still recognizable.
Sure, he takes note of
Okay.
your robes as you come over.
So he said. Say it again. He did say Ordo, right?
Yes, he said Ordo. When he said that, you're kind of like, Ordo? Like, as a rogue trader, probably know the Ordo Inquisition and all of that shit. It's like,
Yeah,
but then
that's a kind of.
then he starts saying the names of.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. You can either take it that he's got something wrong there, because the way he said it wasn't, as if someone who knows of the Inquisition would normally say it. He kind of blurted out, you from Ordo,
Yeah.
the, and then he listed off the main governmental bodies of the Imperium.
In fact, I think by the very fact that he's alive, we can assume that he doesn't know about the Inquisition.
Or they don't know of
could
him.
be a radical inquisitor that knows of
Yeah.
them.
Maybe.
In that case, he'd be very fucking lucky.
That is true. I can't deny that.
I'll imagine that I'm not exactly pointing at, or like not pointing, but motioning to Cray and motioning to Abe. I'm not part of any major Adeptus, not Ordos, Adeptus.
Apologies.
But I am. No, it's fine. I am of nobility. And
you rogue trader then?
yeah, yes.
He looks kind of happy at this and a little bit pleased, and I know much about rogue traders.
Do you?
Oh, yes. Much of my information comes from rogue trader documents.
Oh, I'm going to be very surprised at that, honestly. And oh, okay. Yes, there was a. We already know that there has been some activity of a rogue trader at some point on this planet, so he must have been left behind. Where did you get them, if I might ask?
Not sure how much I can say at the moment, but I can tell you some things. My clan met Rogue Trader when they landed on World. We were one of the first Fetids to be accepted by Rogue Trader.
How long ago was this?
9 generations, give or take 1 or 2. Long time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Difficult to work out how long Fetids be here exactly. But you find out one day. This world, complicated. Yes.
That seems to be putting it mildly, honestly.
Omnisire do that.
Omnisire. Yes, Machine God. We have heard of.
Well,
Hello.
you're at...
I'll put in real quick of the aspect of the Emperor.
Machine God. He gives you a deadpan stare.
You always give a deadpan stare. You're a Mechanicus.
Even more deadpan.
We used to know more, but after disaster, we lose so much. So, apologies if colloquialisms or wordage is wrong.
Well, you seem very good at it. I've seen very well with it, Gothic.
My clan, closest to Elders clan, we more gifted than other Fetids.
See.
This catastrophe, what was it?
Cannot say until Elder approve. But can say Fetids have 2 great disasters in all of history.
Were any of them against the great enemy?
He sighs heavily. first disaster bring Fetitz to where we are now? Great disaster, from what I know, anyway. And that was caused by greatest enemy humanity ever face, not Fetitz. But that's still calamity. You find out one day. The second one I cannot say. It may change your minds as how you treat Fetitz. So Elder will need to tell one, if not all.
I suppose humans were responsible for the second calamity.
Again, he looks up at you, Abby, and he takes like great interest now in the fact that you're blind. You've got a wrap around your eyes, and he looks very puzzled, but then again very down, and me not able to say. You have to wait for that knowledge. But what are you? I not recognized your symbol. Maybe it lost to us.
I am of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica.
He like looks really like as if he's thinking really, really hard to try and maybe you ones like elders. Maybe? They know, but able to see. Did you go blind in some accident?
How
No.
the shack?
My eyes have simply seen all they needed to see.
You tell you've seen the Emperor, he's gonna fucking shit the bed.
Muttermouth pipes up. She like elder. She have gifts. Me understand. But you have different gifts, yes?
I'm not sure. Your elder did speak to me, which is something I would be able to do as well. But I suppose your elder did not travel to Terra, did she?
Terra.
The critic.
No. You mean Earth?
Fuck, that's really old knowledge then.
Yes, small document. Rogue trader referred to Terra. Seven, one of 7 worlds in Sol system. Fetitz know of Terra, but it is known as Earth. Very old. Very old. Not have much more than that, though. But our elder cannot see, and she is blind.
She's blind?
Yes. Not at birth and not from gift. She go blind from old age.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Out of all Fetits, her clan live longest.
Okay. Abby, anything else?
He by now has passed around recaf to everyone, and a thick syrup, a clear syrup, is passed around, and you can see some of the fetits, put two globules of syrup in before stirring. As you comes to you, Heinrich, it is sweet.
Fucking.
Um,
It's like sugar syrup, isn't it?
It's a gum syrup gathered from the trees around here.
Okay, I'll with a smile, I'll drop to it, or I'll drop one in and then stir it in, and enjoy my recaf.
The food would also have been passed around now, and you can see some of the fetits put some of the gum sap on the or gum syrup, whatever it is, on the drop scones. Basically, what they're having. Yes, there much that fetits know. We are happy to pass on knowledge, but elder must approve.
Very well.
So far, your kind of fetid seems to be the only one that's friendly to us.
Pleasant.
Apart from one we've met.
Fetits have had hard life because of your kind. Some not forget so easy. But my clan have seen the good side. The elders' clan have long memory of humans saving fetits. Loyalty lasts long in memories that live on. Others not gifted, not lucky. They find hard to trust again.
I see. Okay. I'm getting more and more curious about the elder, to be honest. When do you think we are going to be able to see the elders? Soon.
He looks up at the sun, kind of. You can see he's muttering under his breath, a little bit like how hard to explain. Yeah, you could see his mouth kind of moving a little bit. You'd see Muttermouth doing this as well, from time to time, or Kai, doing this as well. But he looks up at the sky and he does seem annoyed. And maybe 1 hour he have strength to do meeting. Maybe 2 hours he has strength for meeting.
Right. That's fine.
Muttermouth, kind of without, like, you see his ears twitch, and he kind of stops what he's doing, and he gets up, and he gives a little bow to his family, his kinsmen, before walking off and going to the elder's house. Yeah, let's put him down there. Then at least the stream don't see him. He's in the house. You can all imagine it better. Yeah, he goes off to the elders. So is there anything else?
So he went off.
Yeah, he just went off. It didn't look like he didn't like give, like, he looked at you all and just, like, gave you a little nod and walked off.
Okay. Sorry, I had to respond to a message.
No worries. So essentially, you guys, if you have any more questions for the group of fetits here, you can ask them. If not, we can move on an hour.
I'll thank them for the food and everything. I'll probably ask a couple of questions about the food, like, so where do you get the? I point to the recaf beans in case they have a different word for them. I call recaf, but how do you say that kind of stuff?
No. We fetits used to have other name for it, but rogue trader called them recaf as well. But he say what do you say? He's a recaf colloquial name for many types of drink with similar taste. Um,
Yes.
Before, ours named coffee, but he say recaf newer name, and we fetits liked it, so we went with recaf. But it
Do
comes
you
from a bean. And we get our he basically like motions to Muttermouth's wife, and she like takes up a load of pots. They are a ceramic pot, but they definitely don't look as old as some of the stuff that they have. These look like far newer, but still maybe like 20 years old, kind of a deal. And she goes in and pulls out this very fine, like coconut, like grated coconut kind of a meal. And he informs you that, they get those from certain seeds that they harvest, and then they grate them down, and can create this type of floury, coconutty meal. And you will taste, like when you eat their drop skirt, they have an odd but delicious flavor. And he basically informs you that all round the forest, the fetits have certain agricultural things going on. They will grow certain trees in one area, certain bushes that seem to help the trees grow. Like they seem to really have a grasp on the green thumb, apparently.
Okay. Well, I must say, it's exquisite. Thank you very much. It's the nicest thing I've had on planet so far. Something
Abby will not.
normal. What?
Abby will not along.
do you have some kind of medicinal plot or
Oh,
herbs
yes,
somewhere in the surrounding?
yes. We have many medicines, poisons too. Many plants grow in forest. That's why we have to protect so fiercely. We Betits cannot lose the forest. Lost so much already.
You, when we leave, do you mind giving us some of those herbs? Could have a great use for them.
He looks at Muttermouth's wife, who kind of looks a little sheepish. We cannot give unless Elder
We
say.
will
We can trade.
Oh,
But
yes, that's a better idea.
can
Gray.
reimburse you indeed.
Yeah. Uh, Essentially, I think I know what our friend is talking about. If you can provide us with some of the herbs and such when we leave, we might be able to create something a bit more
Potent.
useful and potent with them. And perhaps if it comes to it, and we are allowed to do so, a small trade can go between us and yourselves. You provide us with that, and we provide you with a cut of the potent material. We're not 100% certain what just yet, but any form of medicinal herbs and fungi and such go a long way in our product production.
what? He kind of thinks to himself, and Me cannot say. Me not allowed to say. Me can work. He gets up and goes into his tent. Um, he comes out with two boxes, like one's on top of the other. He places one box down in front of him where you can clearly all see it. He places the other box next to him. He opens up the first box, and it looks like there are made glass containers in there that have different herbs, spices, medicinal things. And he takes out like poultices, wraps, ground medicinal, we're talking old school medicine. And he looks at you and doesn't say anything, just looks at you.
Okay. I'll make a motion with my hand. I'll almost ask, can I pick one up?
He again starts going through his box, and he places a few parcels that are in reach of you, but then he seems to be doing something like, it looks like he's making another poultice. But he's clearly got an eye on you. He is watching what you're doing, but he's not saying anything.
So I'll pick up a poultice. I'll give it a quick inspection. Take a look, give it a smell, everything else, and see what how it is. I just realized I don't actually think I have medicine or.
So if you give me a, so this would be for reading his his facial features, his tells. You're trying to basically see through him what he's getting at. I think that would be scrutiny. Is perception on this? It's not. Hang on. There's a hold. Let me use the thing to see if it's.
You trying to slip us these?
No. So yeah, I think
No,
it's scrutiny. So if you go on, I don't think the
I don't
Soon
have
Raccoon.
scrutiny. Are you fucking serious?
Oh, the Soon Raccoon
I
does
have
have it.
scrutiny.
Oh shit! I just clicked the wrong button. I just closed fucking.
Oh no, it's not. So the Soon Raccoon
Just
doesn't actually
fucking
have
close
access
roleplay.
to
Hang on.
a decent character sheet. So there's an eye. If you scroll over the eye, you'll be able
Hang
to
on.
see what the talent is used for. I believe it is scrutiny.
Just realized I didn't already fucking spend XP yet. Hang on. I'm
Could
not
I
gonna do it
roll
now,
as
but-
well?
I mean, can I do a roll of desperation?
So scrutiny roll, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's scrutiny. There would be a +20 to it because he is being quite blatant about what he's trying to get at.
Doesn't help me.
That's
Cook boy doesn't do social.
It's not actually a social thing. It's a perception thing, which is weird. But I
Yeah.
guess but inquiry is what you
It's
use
picking
to
up
ask
details.
questions. Okay, Rita. So someone succeeded. Good. Someone succeeded with a double. Damn, why could it have been a bloody psychic power? So whereas Cray and Heinrich, maybe it's too early, maybe it's too much information. Somehow the blind girl sees it. In the words that he said, he can't tell you anything. He's not allowed to tell you anything. He's a crafty fox. You've mentioned about a trade about high quality meds, and he's showing you some meds. Abby, you kind of get the feeling that he wants, like, this is what we're making, or no, we make better.
Okay.
I think he's trying to let you know what they have.
Okay, well, Cray, you have Medicaid, don't you?
I do.
Or do you have anything? Do you have anything to do with chemistry or anything else? Like,
Common
you,
lore machine guild.
it's probably not.
I mean, if you're asking after specific chemistry lore, no, but I don't think there is.
No, there is.
I think there is.
There's a trade. There's a trade for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's a trade
I have
skill.
trade armorer and technomant.
But technically, you can add any law on. Like it even says it in, or at least it says it in the Dark Heresy books that if you come up with any law, you can ask the GM if it's okay to add it to the game. The law ones are pretty weird in that you can have the laws added that are not in the book. But no, he's clearly trying to find out if you're making medicine as good as this or better. You're making medicine that's better, so you can look at a parcel of ground up herbs and be like, huh, this is
I guess this would be Medicaid then.
no, you just need to look at
I
it.
guess
You just
you
need
just
to
know.
Yeah, you just need to,
Fair.
like you're getting
Okay.
pills out of your machine. He's handing
Yeah,
you a
true.
parcel of ground up herbs.
See, I'll measure it in my hand, and it's. You see, it is fine. This works, but what we can make is smaller, lighter, more in a pouch than
His
this.
teeth
I'm
show.
holding it.
His teeth show. As it
Okay.
looks as if he is really grinning.
He's grinning.
Seems need to do check. Yes, must do check every few months. Make sure it's still working. He seems to be almost talking to himself, but out aloud, so you can hear the other fetits. Muttermouth's wife is probably giving him like a "you crafty old bastard" kind of a look. The other female fetit is probably looking around, like scoping out, are the other fetits looking? Is anyone watching? So
I have a smile on my face. This is the man after my own heart.
he starts
Fox
packing.
man after my own heart.
He starts packing things away into the first box. And work done for this now. Don't need to more supplies. Good enough. Yes. Supplies good enough. Closes everything up, and he takes the other box out from the side of him. Places it on top so you can see it. He opens this it's a large lunch pail. Larger than like the ones you see in America on the movies. Is a double-breasted one, fat boy style. He opens this up and then takes out another box. As soon as he opens the box up, you hear this faint vibration coming out. As he places this, this is about the size of a large coffee tin, down on top of the box. Pray give me a scholastic, common, or any law machine cult. For Heinrich, you can do a rogue trader roll, but it is at a -20.
Why not?
Jesus.
Sadly,
99.
sadly, Heinrich, you're just like maybe you just never seen one before. Cray, you know of stasis fields. You know that there are some incredibly rare stasis fields that are rather small. What he has brought out in front of you with the humming, and you see this glowing shield around it on the inside of, like, it's got, at least in my head, has a like a coffee tin style box with 4 glass windows, metal running down the sides, and obviously metal on the top and bottom. The top and bottom are quite chunky, and you can see that there are essentially bleeping lights around the side. Like there's a couple of flashing lights, and there are a couple of worn symbols that you can't quite make out. And one light is green, one light is flashing. So there's a number of flashing lights. And at the top there seems to be an opening part, but also a number of buttons. Thomas, flicks at a number of buttons, and you hear the humming sound stop, and the glowing field inside dissipates. As he opens the container, there's an audible tff, and the smell of ozone begins to waft out in your immediate presence. As the lid comes off entirely, he takes out a number of pill bottles and manufactured medicines. He takes a number out and pours them into a pour and counts them, but he is visibly showing you that they have advanced medicine. However, the way he treats it and immediately puts them back into the container, closes it up, like he brings forth a number of things. They basically have an advanced med kit here in this one container, but they don't have the proper medical bag for it. Everything's been broken down, except from some of like the tools, the scissors, the scalpels, things like that. They have the medicine side. And he very quickly puts it back into the box and closes it up, turns on the button, and humming starts.
So it's like their one medical kit. Like it seems like they're only one.
It's probably a kit and a half. You know, it's a well stocked medical kit, but just the medicines, and he seems to treat it as if it is seriously precious. As he shuts it away and turns it on, and yes, supply is low, but it can last for now. Yes. And packs it all away again. And what are we talking about?
I just have a little smile on my face, and yes.
Oh yes, clothing. Were there any other questions you wanted to ask, or did you want to time skip to the point where you are summoned?
Any of you guys?
I mean, I'm good.
I'm good. I mean, I guess we'd answer any further questions he'd have. Probably.
There's just some general talk between the group. You kind of can see the other Fettit, the other fox female, once everything gets put away, calms down a little bit, stops, looking around at the other Fettits. And yeah, there's some general chit chat. It's been about, I don't know, half an hour since you woke up and have been talking and chatting, and another half an hour passes since Muttermouth left, and then there's probably 45 minutes.
Okay.
Problems with drinking beer whilst GMing. There's probably about 45 minutes go past.
It's kind of interesting that they seem more afraid of their fellow Fettids than of us,
Yeah.
despite only just having met us.
You don't want the upper
I mean,
clans
we're
seeing that
likely
you're...
also not. We're also likely not capable of completely genociding them.
Yet.
Yet.
They just don't want to get themselves in shit, but they know he's a crafty old fox, and kind of, he gets information, you get information, it's all good, yes. About 45 minutes more goes past before would he come out? Yeah, I suppose he would come out. When Kai comes out, presents himself, and informs you all that the elder is ready to speak to. Oh, actually, I'll do it. Elder ready to speak to you, Abby. The rest of you must choose if you come or not. Once you have chosen, you can't go back. Very, very bad to go back.
She tilts her head a bit. Do you expect them to be in any danger?
No. There is no danger as long as you don't leave.
And there's no reason to leave.
Well,
Only
I'm coming
disgust
regardless.
would make you leave.
Disgust.
You just came from a place that drowned psychers as their babes, you know.
Yeah.
Look, I'm coming from a place that chucks thousands of psychers every day into a fucking fire.
A psychic fire.
True, but most of the babies that go in black ships, by the time they get their asses to Terra, are probably like 7 or 8. You know, they've grown up. They're children, perfectly
Discord
fine for
died
going
again.
in the fire.
Yeah, I said, get on my fucking level.
Oh boy. I'm fine with going, regardless. So yep, I'll stand up and go with. Shit, hang on. What rank are we? No, we're still rank 2, aren't we?
I believe so. I'm so saddened that our Brazilian friend is not here to witness. He shall have to watch the pod.
We are rank 3.
Rank 3?
Yep.
Oh. Wait, no, hang on. What? You have to spend a certain amount to actually get to rank 3, don't you?
Yes.
10,000 is it? Ah, yes. Oh, yeah, you can actually hover over the XP spent. Okay.
Yeah, the sheet is rather impressive. There's many
It's
many
very
helpful
good.
things.
Sheet is much good.
So Cray, do you accept? Are you going in for the beating?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I'm going to grab your tokens. So I was really trying to find like a shaman hut or something, you know, thematical and image to show you, but none of them really fit in with the image I wanted to present. So as you go into this this building, it is of decent modern construction. You can see that the guards are outside. The protector is there. He still looks really angry. Jax, Jinx, whatever. Fuck it. I'll sort that out later. He still looks really angry. His cybernetic eye still seems to be playing blue electricity across and out of his skull. And his claws seem to flicker with that energy as well. But he doesn't stop you. He just kind of sniffs the air when you come past and you know takes notice of you. The other fetits are more intrigued by you and interested as you come out, but most of them have a wary look when they look at you. As you go through the
Okay.
doors, it is actually a it's not a steel door. Or if it is a steel door, it was finished in a machine. Sorry, in a factory. Like the coating is so thick, so durable that decay has not got to it, weathering has not got to it. And on the door, you'd probably make out a weathered like symbol of, I believe it's, oh god damn it, it's a symbol for this world. It's Chronos. Is it Chronos? The Gaelic god of hunting and
Oh, Chernarus.
Chronos, that's the one. Yeah, it has like his symbol on the door, but it's incredibly, well, no, sorry, it wouldn't be worn because the door is so, yeah, you can still see it quite clearly. And as the door opens, you go in. The inside doesn't really represent the outside, which is kind of a bit weird. because as you go in, it's very dimly lit. Most of the lighting comes from oil lamps that are suspended from the ceiling. When you walk on the floor, it is a modern floor, much like the tiled floor from the facility that you guys found. But you don't see any modern lights, or if they are there, they don't seem to be operational. As you enter, you see a cat, a cat-like woman. She is far more human than cat. She still has some of the facial features of a cat, and eyes, and yes, ears, but her mouth is far more human. As you enter, welcome, travelers. I understand you have come a long, long way. The elder will see you, but you must understand. To know the Fetid's history, to know who we are, you must live it. We do not have a written form. Kai has told us much about you. He thinks you are a hope for us. The elder agrees. I am skeptical. But the other clans may not be pleased with this. So for those of you who are willing, you cannot leave until the end. Do you all agree now?
I'm getting a little bit worried there. I hear psychic shit, more or less, and but I'm steel myself, and I'm gonna yes. Don't make me regret this.
And is that repeated by Abby and Craig?
Abby doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, Abby doesn't quite have a choice, does she?
Gray just follows the thing.
And the degenerate agrees because, fuck you, you're not here, you bastard. I'll make you agree.
I mean, Abby doesn't seem troubled by it.
You don't, but
You know, she doesn't say anything because she doesn't have a choice.
it does sound to me as if we're about to hit some psychic shit. I want to steel myself a little bit more. See, he does that. Sorry, Heinrich does that little bit of like a. When everyone turns around and starts walking again, just as we start walking, just little hop and shake the hands like, okay, come on, you can do it, you can do it.
So as she leads you in, you can see that it is almost tribalistic in here in how it's decorated more of. There are items which are placed in great reverie on the walls, but they seem so mundane. Like there's a faded photograph. The frame is there, the glass is broken. You can just make out the image that 2 or 3 people were stood there, but you have no idea of what the image is. Other than, you know, obviously 3 people. It's so faded and old. And there's pieces of metal and just objects that have been placed on the wall, and in some cases they have flowers that may have dried out now, but in other areas you can see where flowers have been replaced recently. But there's about 3 or 4 rooms in this small facility, and there's a large staircase that you'll see going up. The staircase is in a room that is much larger, but unfortunately, like, you can see it's large, but they've draped like curtains down, much like the Bedouin style when you walk in, and they have the silks and stuff hanging down. They've kind of done that in here to make the ceiling feel lower. You can see the staircase spirals up. and it looks like it goes to the top of the tower where the las cannon is. Again, very Bidderwind style. There's lots of pillows laid out, and there's a very old Fettit who looks almost identical to the Fettit that you're speaking to, Holly. I'll give you their names, Holly, because, you know, it's easier that way. But yeah, they're almost identical. Their fur is different in places that show, you know, that they're clearly not clones or anything like that, but the similarities are just like striking. The older Fettit is sat on a very large couple of pillows that seem to almost swallow her whole. She has her legs crossed, and her arms are dug into the pillows, making kind of armrests for her arms to rest on. Her fur has gone grey in a vast amount of areas, but you can see there's almost two tones of grey, and you can just make out the two-toned colour that she used to be. Her ears have lots of gashes in them, as if she's seen battle. In a couple of places, you can almost see old scarring through the fur. Her eyes are completely cloudy. In front of her is like a small fireplace area, and this is very much like I suppose it's, again, Bidderwind style, but also Japanese style. There's a chain from the roof that has a cauldron that can be raised up and down closer to the fire if needed, and a number of other paraphernalia gathered around her. Pestle and mortar and herb jars and things of this nature. Almost as the door has opened, although you wouldn't see this, the change of wind as you walk in, she is breathing heavily through her nose.
Well, 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 isn't he invisible?
Ah, you have come. I smell 4. One of you I have spoken to already. I again apologize for our protector. He is very protective. Please take a seat, and we will begin with some questions. Welcome, degenerate. You've missed some cool bits, but you've arrived for the best bit. You've arrived for the best bit. It's all right. You'll have to watch the VOD for like an hour to find out about the mischievous fox. But it's okay. It's a fun thing to catch up on.
I'm gonna sit down, like you said, but I'm gonna go. I'll be back in just 2 seconds.
Sure. So, Jim, your Kalindra has been forced to enter into the Elder's sanctum, basically. It's very Bidderwind style, but yet also tribalistic, with a hint of Japanese kind of ness in there as well. There are a lot of weird items on the walls of the corridor that you walked through, which you kind of are like bizarre, because like a faded photo in the frame with broken glass, but it looks like it's treasured, and they've like placed flowers next to it and things like this. So it's a weird building that you've come into. You're currently about to sit on quite a large pillow in a semicircle, pretty much, facing the elder of this village. She is a blind cat girl. No, contain yourself, Jim. Contain yourself. She's very old. She looks far more human than cat. However, her facial features are cat-like. It's not, if any of you are from the Conclave, it's not like Aerith, just cat ears, and it's more like the weird cat man thing that was on one of Archer's streams not long ago. like the dude who became a cat. Yeah, a little bit more like that. But their lips, especially, are more human-like, so they are able to communicate better. You're about to ask some questions to the old girl, before she gives you psychic memories, essentially.
If she tries to give psychic memories to Kalindra, she will try to resist.
No. You weren't here. You have no choice. You've already been asked twice, but you weren't here, so there's no
Well,
resistance.
you
that-
could allow him to opt out.
If
I
you want to
guess.
leave, then you can leave. But yeah, the story is so far you just agreed to it.
Going in, if it was all spoken, I would be fine with it. Kalindra doesn't like psychic; she's a Picard, so she'll be opting out.
Yeah. When Holly brought up you have to live it, that's probably when you kind of click that. Oh, it's gonna be psychic. Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm out.
Yeah,
Okay,
basically.
because there is no danger here. There is no, and Muttermouth assured the group, there is no danger to you as long as you do not leave.
It's inherent in my culture / DNA as a character to dislike psychics. So yeah, no, I'm opting out.
Okay. So the degenerate doesn't have the balls for it and walks away. For the rest of you, then, you are currently sat in a semicircle around Harmony, the elder of the village, or of the Fettits. Is there anything you wish to know before I show you?
There's only been 2 catastrophes,
You will
as
see
far as
them
you're
both.
aware, correct?
I know there are 2 catastrophes. You will see them both.
I suppose humans were responsible for the second one.
You will learn. But humans are always responsible for the evil and the angelic.
Well, I don't think I have any other questions, to be honest. Oh, hello, Pop.
As she's talking,
Hello.
she's taking out a number of herbs and different things from the stuff around her, and the whole time she's just grinding parts up. Her apprentice, Holly, is also in the corner taking out different items and different things, and you can hear her grinding certain things up and taking out other things. About 5 or 10 minutes go by. There are some questions that she would ask you, but it's basically stuff I already know: your names, what you do, and just really basic information that you've already told other people. So we can kind of skip that bit. As that's going on, Holly takes a seat next to the elder, and she begins making a rhythmic tune. It's there is a name for it, but it's almost, it's those things that can put you into a hypnotic trance. So it's like a metronome noise, a constantly repeating beat, or sound. It seems to resonate within your minds ever so slightly, and as this begins, a number of herbs are put onto the fire in front of, like, it's like Holly is taking some of what she was doing. Hang on a minute. But the elder, whilst the noise starts, the elder places some of the stuff she's been grinding up onto the fire. Holly takes some of the stuff she's been grinding up and passes a small leaf wrapped, like it's a leaf that's containing something. She passes each one to you all, and she shows you, like, put it in your mouth and just don't swallow. Like, she makes that clear while singing, well, making a rhythmic noise. And the elder begins wafting the smoke towards her, inhaling deeply. About 7 or 8 really good lungfuls before she almost swats it away. The smoke blowing into all of your faces. So Cray, do you have the skill Flesh is Weak? Do you have the machine trait yet, sir?
I don't think so. Let me just check.
Okay. If you don't have it, this affects you fully. If you do have it, it only partially affects you. So let me know if it does.
I don't have the machine trait as far as I can see.
Okay, cool. So this will affect you fully. So after a few, it's only like 3 or 4 minutes of the smoke wafting in your faces, and it starts getting really creamed in here. The smoke hits the canvas and just bounces back down, hits the floor, and so right now it's all very hazy with smoke. It's a sweet smelling smoke, and when you do breathe it in, there's a really nice floral taste, but it gives you a really heady feeling. And with the noise as well, your vision starts to haze ever so slightly. It's completely different to the hallucinogenic honey, just so that we're clear.
Yeah, fuck that honey.
Abby, I'm just gonna give this to you. This really smacks of ritual. This really, like, you're like, huh, this is really ritualistic, like. Oh no. Like, there are some alarm bells, but you do also know that there are imperial ritualistic things. So alarm bells are ringing, but nothing like really bad has been seen yet or heard. So we're going into story time. As you're kind of overtaken by the thing that's in your mouth, which just mixes with your saliva, and your saliva, like your tongue starts to tingle a little bit, and you swallow the saliva, and you're like, shit, was I meant to do that? And with everything that's moving in your head and the smoke, it all just starts to take effect. And it's a good feeling at first, but then the elder starts doing something. It's almost like she's doing something with her hands, and then you feel as if you're snapping awake. Only you can't move at all. There's no smoke. You are in a well-lit room. And there is a man stood in front of you. He's wearing a crisp white shirt, a crisp white overcoat, essentially lab coat would be better to say. He has a number of letters across the front of his overcoat, of his lab coat rather. He has greyish hair, weird spectacle like devices, but they seem like very bulky, but they're not bulky for the noises that they're making. And like his eyes are adjusting with the lenses moving, and you're staring, but you can't move. Like, you can only look around in the vision that you have. And then there's this as a device opens. It is finished. How do you feel? Did it take? Please, don't keep me waiting any longer. Don't think we have any longer. It worked. I feel it. It worked. Your vision begins to move, and even though you are not moving your head, like you're trying to, like, no, don't move, and yet your vision is moving. There are words coming out of your mouth that are not your words. This is where, can I get a willpower from everyone? You do get a plus 30 to it. Oh, that is excellent. Go, step out to the machine, my girl. Step out.
Real quick, would resistance fear affect that by any chance?
It is, yes. I would say that this would be kind of scary, kind of fearful as well. It's not proper fear, but it's fear that leads to insanity. So yeah, I'll give you the extra.
So would me being already quite insane affect that?
What level of insanity are you at?
I'm at 29 points.
It's a weird feeling, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it would be... No, I don't think it would be at that level for you. So although I still want a willpower to see if you're shaken by this, you are too insane for it to actually bother you mentally.
Well, we do get a plus 30, and I get a plus 10 from resistance fear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you'd still have those would still apply. It's just you are technically, yes, too insane for this to really affect you. Because you've got 2 degrees.
And I have a
fear.
willpower of 69, so I can't fail.
Natural hundreds happen, man. Natural hundreds happen. And I've called out natural ones before, so damn it, I can call out natural hundreds when I need to. So yeah, it's off-putting, Abby, but you have seen far worse. It's just your head is moving without your conscious willingness for it to move. And it's kind of like a ride, you know. Yeah. Cray, willpower test with a plus 30, please, and any other bonuses to fear that you have. The woman, apparently, as you look down and you see, hang on, I'm a fetit. That's also something that would probably kind of make you go, I don't know if Cray is here, but we'll remind him later.
I am here.
Oh, and can I get willpower of a plus 30? And plus any resistances to fear. Nope, you're good. So, as you step out, you look around, look at yourself, and the room that you're seeing right now, it is immaculate. It is perfect. It is spotless. There are consoles and devices and Cray. Sorry, dude. I need another willpower test. This time, it's flat for you.
Can't I get a plus 30?
Nope, not
Pretty
this
please.
time. Because this one
Please.
is because of the technology you will be seeing. Oh my god, you succeeded. Holy fucking shit. Okay. No insanity for you.
But it's success.
No insanity for you. Great, there is perfectly there is archaeotech in absolutely perfect condition all around you, and yet you can't fucking look at it. You're like, hang on, is that a device for like splitting bloods and doing things? What the fuck? And then the head turns, and you're like, no, go back. Hang on, wait, is that all these different pieces of technology? But the head keeps fucking moving. It's driving you, well, almost insane. But then you remember, the Omnisire giveth, and he taketh away. You don't gain any insanity either, motherfuckers. So,
Best hope there isn't a toast in a corner somewhere.
There may be. There may be. So the conversation continues. Ah, thank you. Thank you. You are our salvation. Now, Petra, you will be the first. You will be first free-fetted. You will have no masters. You will be the master of your own destiny. Damn it. We have created so many things that only turned against us in the end. Our arrogance has led to our demise, and I will not let it be the end of my family's greatest achievement. So little time, and I have so many regrets and wishes and fears for your people. You'll take the kit. Here, you're led over to a table, and again, Cray, there are diagnosters here that are tiny. There are tools for like the smallest instruments and all kinds of stuff that you would love, that the Mechanicus would love to have, and the vision just passes over it. Bastard. And you're shown basically a very fancy rucksack with like it's a one of those armored rucksacks. It's rucksacks. It's quite bulky. You must take this to the northern outpost. I have everyone there who can assist you and those fetits that you can take with you. But I warn you. I warn you that they will not be like you. Your clan will be unique among all the fetits. And this may make yours hated. You will have to be wise, grow fast, and learn quick. The end is coming for us. Steel Legion will be here soon. You have maybe 3 to 4 days, enough time to get there with as many people as you can and lock it down. What will come next will be world-ending. At the worst, be catastrophic at the best. I will ensure the device is activated. Warp energies that will be wrapped around this planet will protect you from the Men of Iron when they come. They will not protect you for long. Once the device deactivates, you will be hurled back into real space. That is when the real struggle will begin. I don't know what you will be chucked into. All I know is that is a hope for your species, your kind. And we will not be here to guide you, or at least what's left of us won't. The northern outpost is protected. What comes to this world will not reach you as long as you are sealed away. The facilities here may end up falling. And if they do, they will die. That will leave your kind the last, the inheritors of this world. I promise I will do everything to ensure that. But if I fail, it is the end of all of us. Please, if you survive, let your people know we were not all evil. We were not all arrogant. Some of us knew the mistakes we had made. I will hope that you make it. There's a weird touching moment which will make furry lovers everywhere be happy, but me very uncomfortable. So we're gonna, there's a hug and there's some kisses, and we're gonna leave it at that. A heartfelt parting. So there's not many words that are said in passing before the bag is taken and you move out. This facility is quite large. There are a number of other fetids there that you've never seen before, you as characters, but the person that you are at the moment seems to know them. There's conversations and so on as a group soon begins to gather. You make it into basically it's a machine workshop, or it's a motor pool would be the better word. Gray, at this point you're fucking killing yourself. But thankfully the Omnisire is strong within you. As you see all these different archaeotech, anti-gravitic vehicles, landers, lifters, all kinds of just fabulous technology. It seems as if the fetids go into it is anti-gravitic. It is lifted on anti-gravity suspenders, but it's more of a cargo style. You spend, it seems like a day or so. The memories now start coming in clips of important moments rather than the whole day going past. And you see a number of snippets in time of different fetids, different clans being gathered up. So there are, of course, the fox group, the hyena group, the wolf group, and all the felines. But there's also the oxes, the rams, the goats, the bulls. All the bovine species are also there. And the thing that kind of chills you a little bit is that there is a very large breed there. They have skin over their heads. They are not what you fought against, but they are very fucking similar. Just a bit deflated with skin on the head. But a large group is gathered up. In the end, there is basically standing room only on this one large transit lorry-like anti-gravitic vehicle. There's a decent number of supplies with them, but not nearly as many as are needed. And you do see snippets where, there's conversations about stopping and foraging in the forest before going into up north, before doing this. And you get snippets of the world and you can see, so sorry, this is actually going back quite a bit. You were way down south. As you leave in the anti-gravitic vehicle, you look in the rear view mirror, or in the side mirrors rather. Actually, there may even be a camera at the back, a reversing camera. Why not? You see a huge city behind you. There are a number of ships, dozens, if not thousands, flying up and down from from the planet. You're guessing evacuating or preparing for something. There's loads of activity. It's like a bee's nest has been pissed off with how much air activity there is. But as you get much further out, you cross through the Great Plains of the world. You come to the western forest. You cross over a great river at the time, and you see the western forests and the western mountain ranges. But you're heading up north to where there is basically a mountain range that comes off and cuts. It's like two mountain ranges from east and from west. They seem to stop almost created, but it looks natural, like this one way into the frozen north. It's at this point that there's a lot of arguing. There's a lot of infighting. The clans seem to be sticking together, but your person is doing everything they can to keep everyone together. You must get to the northern outpost. There is no other option. But you lose members along the way. By the time you finally get to the northern outpost, there's like 2/3 left of the fetids. Now, the numbers are there's still like over 1,000 of them It was a large hover, whatever. There was a lot of them, but you have lost 1/3 of that, about 500, give or take. And the rest of them do look as if they haven't been eating properly. The supplies are pretty much all gone. As you come up to this huge, it looks like an ice sheet, like a glacier, that is just gigantic. But as you get close, you hear the radio come up, and her name is given again, and there's a flickering as a good chunk of the glacier disappears, and a solid, well, as far as you're aware, concrete, plasteel concrete, rockcrete, whatever it is, a huge wall is just there, and it's sticking out of the glacier. It's almost like a crenellation. No, not crenellation, buttress. Bit that sticks out. And the wall seems to open up. It doesn't just open up from either side going round. The top also comes up, revealing almost a miniature, really modern castle. Like, there is a tower that seems to have like an observatory. It's not pointed like in fantasy, it is round, but it seems to have an observatory, which seems to, like, as the things have been removed, the defenses have retracted, it's looking around, it's moving. And there are other defensive fortifications that have been made up as well. And as you get ever closer and closer and closer, Prey, you see automatons, like the Castellan. No, not the. Is it? Yeah, the Castellans are the automata of. Yes, it's Castellans. So you'd see a number of Castellans painted white, completely white. They seem far more advanced than what you've seen, unless you've met your mate, your chief magos of your forge. They are just immaculate, well armed, upgraded. They seem to scan the vehicle as it passes through, and you can see that you've entered into a courtyard like area that has a number of anti-vehicle traps, like big stone slabs sticking out of the ground, where a number of incredibly advanced, what look very similar to servitors. You're not sure if they're autonoma or if they're servitors at this point. And again, another reason why you would have had quite a lot of insanity if you'd failed. You can't see any of it because the fucker doesn't look at, she doesn't study any of it. Eventually you lead into the main building. The door opens by sliding in 3 ways, and stood there is quite a young man. There are 2 other assistants with him who have, like, their faces are covered. But he is quite a young man. He's about 5'4", black hair, slightly like too eager as the door opens. He does look beaming. You made it. You made it. You made it in time. Quickly, everyone inside. Everyone in. A few days, if we're lucky. Tonight, if we're not. I need to close everything up. We have to be locked down. Please, come in. Come in, all of you. Welcome. Welcome. As, I believe it was Patricia, greets him, and, like, there's a bit of a conversation where they seem to know each other. The other fetits start rolling in. They scour at the human. So, to speed up a little bit more, it's a huge complex. It's maybe the size of a 30-story skyscraper inside of the mountain. The top part of it is just not, it's nothing. It's the tip of the iceberg. You'd see a digital readout of the world, and the scientist will explain some of it. So, the human defense force that was able to be mustered this far out is wiped aside by the Men of Iron. Once the Men of Iron get into orbit, a device is activated. Pray, give me a. Well, actually, no. You. No, I'll give it to you. Because it's basically like reading an auger ray, only it's a little bit fancier. There is a enormous warp anomaly, essentially. Like the warp energies go off the chart outside, whereas there's another, like you can see a number of readouts, and one of them it seems to be in this room, which is all stable, and there are other ones that say different areas on the planet. Huge warp phenomena happens. Warp energy goes rampant, and the whole complex shakes as something happens. All of a sudden, the augurs do not read the warp phenomena that is going on, and then the scientist informs you, one moment, the Geller shield has activated. We are cut off now. We'll get information sporadically. And you do get information sporadically. There are a few cameras on the facility that can oversee what is there. Not good stuff. Not good stuff. Okay? The world appears to have been pushed into the warp, or mostly into the warp. You're not entirely sure. But yeah, you can see some like weird stuff on the screen. And everyone now give me a willpower test as you see warp stuff. This is, so it's not technically, it's not fair because they're not in the range of you. So it's going to be willpower of a -10, but you do get +10s for your resistance to fear. However, if you do fail, this is also one that gives you corruption. For what you are seeing, it is neglected.
What about insanity?
You'll get insanity as well, but for you, you'll get a +20. So if you fail, you'll get a +20 to see if you gain any more insanity. So
It's a -20.
-10 plus
yeah,
10.
yeah, -10
Wasn't it?
+10, yeah.
Just flat.
Yeah, so for Abby, she will get her, if she fails this one, she'll get a +20 roll for the insanity. So Cray and Heinrich,
I'll re-roll. Fuck that.
you both take 3 corruption.
Oh boy.
And you gain 3 insanity from what you have seen. It seems to affect her a lot more than it's affecting you all, as she sees some shit and just screams. And you see him trying to, he's trying to calm her down, the screens go dead, and then bang, the memories start jumping. You see the fetids are in there for quite some time. She has aged considerably. A number of the fetids that you saw coming in die, and their offspring carry on. You still live, and you see a group die, and their offspring is carrying on. You watch a number of different fetids basically come to the end of their lives before carrying on. You would see a part of the memories where basically she is technically cloned. Her gift, or her species, kind of, is created. So there are a male version of her, but also there are another couple of female versions as well that are created, and you do see snippets of the Fetid creation part, but the young man is now ancient. Like, so she has her. I got that the wrong way around. She has her clan created. Few more generations go down, her clan is still living much longer than any other clan, except from the Fox clan that seems to be the second longest, or third, can't quite remember. The human, like, there was only a small number of humans in the facility anyway. I'm not gonna lie, you would have seen some Fetids and humans getting together and having offspring. It seems as if they were created to be viable. You're not entirely sure there. However,
I'll add an extra insanity point.
I know it's terrible. However, within a couple of generations, like the offspring of them have begun looking more and more Fetid-like. And there are no purebred humans left. She still hasn't died, Patricia. When you see her giving birth, she finds a husband and all that shit, all that loveliness. She gives birth, raises a child, and seems to do the same ceremony, only it's slightly different. Instead of breathing in a material, they're using an inhaler and inhaling a concoction. And the memories seem to pass on. A few months later, you're now looking through the other Fetid's memories. This happens 2 times. So there have been 3 of her generation of Fetids in the bunker. And you, again, real quick snippets of these Fetids. You then jump to a point where upheaval is happening. Like, there's too many Fetids in here, but apparently not enough time has passed. But certain clans have got larger and they want out. They've had enough. Then more snippets go by before finally a group of Fetids is led out into the courtyard area, the furthest outside anyone has been in a very long time. The rest of the complex is sealed off, and the doors are opened. As the doors are opened, this quite large group, it's probably about 1,000, maybe a little bit more. An awful lot of them are of the bovine variety. They head out. There doesn't seem to be hostility, but there's a lot of sadness that is passed on through the memories. A lot of, was this the right decision, blah, blah, blah. You see more groups leaving. It seems that since you've opened the door once, you could open it again. And throughout a number of other Fetids generations, more and more leave. Again, the technology in here is archaeotech. It's fantastic, but it's now starting to age. Things are starting to break down. You would see Fetids working on technology, Cray. Free. They seem to be repairing things, some of them. You're not happy at this. Or you might not. The time moves on again as a new memory, a new person. You start, right, and it seems to be always female at this point, but you through the eyes of someone else. Is at this point when the doors have opened, and it seems as if the decision has been made to start again. We're going to find the other groups, we're going to start rebuilding, the doors stay open. And fortifications start getting built. Only out of snow and ice at first, but sooner and gradually more complex defenses are being made on the outside of the wall, something where they can just stand the ground before falling back. And that's when parties start going out. There are still bovine type Fetids here, but the majority is definitely the foxes, the wolves, the tigers, the canines and felines seem to be predominant at this point. And it's definitely the bovines leading the charge. A lot more of them go with the groups that go down south. So she's now down south. She's got to the forests. The Fetids have moved on. They've now built a fortification at the entrance to the northern frozen plains. And it seems to be of fairly well constructed stone material. We move on again. The Fetids have built a number of different outposts, basically taking over the full northern to 1/4 of the map. So a lot of the forests are under their control. There's quite a few numbers of them. The tribes have spread out, but they've stayed in contact. Everything seems to be going well until another group of Fetids arrives. They are haggard, wretched looking, twisted, but not through mutation or through corruptive powers, but through torturous means. Some of the bovines from one of the other expeditions, or their offspring at least, who talk of the promised lands in the north, have arrived. For some of them, it looks as if someone has basically taken a claw and gouged out one eye and one half of their face. To others, it looks as if someone has smashed their shoulder in, crippling their shoulder, but leaving one shoulder smaller and more withered than the other. Same with legs and kneecaps and fingers and all sorts of... They don't seem symmetrical anymore. We move on a bit more. Some of the Fetid society, some of the Fetid groups have found new areas of technology, old bunkers that the Fetids knew about, had access to. More technology has been gathered for the Fetids. Their stand in the world seems to have gotten much, much stronger as another generational change of her, the cat breed, a new individual. You're looking through their eyes. Things have changed, however. The sky is visible. You can see the stars. There is no more shimmering that this world is known for. That has ended. A number of years of uncertainty go by, and all of a sudden, her gifts are now more of a hindrance. Strange things happen. The Fetids aren't sure of what this means, but it is decided that their powers will be locked away, except from the memory transference. They calm their powers altogether as, again, warp phenomena appear to be happening now, which they weren't before. As another snippet of time goes on, suddenly they're getting communicated to. All of a sudden, a ship has arrived. Another change. You're meeting rogue traders. You're meeting Mechanicus personnel from a ship. You're meeting creatures, ratings, humans. Fetids are not sure, like the rest of the races, the clans are not sure about this, but your clan is steadfast. They are humans. They are our allies. And there doesn't seem to be much in the way of hesitation from the cat people. The Fox clan seems to follow along with this as well, as they, again, are the ones who can communicate almost as well as the cat ones. A number of negotiations go past. A number of technologies are passed along. The humans seem eager to trade, but the Fetids are still insular. They're not. They don't show the humans the northern outpost. The rogue trader has a ceremony where he places down a monolith, and the Fetids agree that this land can belong to him, but the world belongs to them. Heinrich, you know he was double-crossing them. I'm going to tell you this. You know he was going to double-cross them.
Oh, yeah.
And the preachers on the ship do not seem to like the Fetids at all. But the Fetids very quickly adapt to this idea of a sun god. Of this idea of the emperor, basically. It doesn't seem to be really alien to them that a man can be a god. And it seems as if there's a lot of tension. There's an awful lot of tension between the rogue traders' ecclesiastical crewmen. But the Fetids seem to notice this, and the decision is made for them to have a temple. A temple will be built in Fetid land to the god emperor. And I will give it to you. You see a map. Is to the east. Hang on. No, west. Hang on. Never eat. No, it's to the west. It's in the western forests. So a number of years go by, but the Fetids they don't seem to be exploring the world as much, and the humans are very happy with what they have, but then it starts coming on to the city. What about the city that was on our scanners? This technology that you're showing us is great and all, but what's that about? The Fetids have no idea, except from the Cat clan that informs the human, the rogue trader, that that's the old headquarters of this world. It should be destroyed. There shouldn't be anything left there. So over the years, there have been a number of Fetids that have gone missing. Just chuck that in there. Just thought to be killed by the dangerous animals, and there's still a lot of dangerous animals on this world. Some of them, not like the archive said they should be, but okay. It seems as if the warp didn't kill all of them off, or if there's maybe a facility that's still active, pumping out new strains, new species, or keeping the species. The Fetids seem to have some knowledge of this, which intrigues the Mechanicus. They were told it was in the south, in the starport and the main complex. They have no access to it. There's a while where the Mechanicus are no longer seen. The rogue trader doesn't seem to bat an eye at this. He seems quite happy with doing trades for all these other things and trying to learn more as little snippets of time go by. And then the rogue trader seems very, very worried. Like something's happened. And then you have a snippet of a number of Mechanicus who have returned, battered, beaten, deformed. And again, it's not warp deformity. Cybernetic limbs have been crushed. Cybernetic eyes have been gouged out, leaving just one eye remaining, one working shoulder. Those that went in symmetrical returned unsymmetrical in a very, very noticeable way. And the Fetids have had reports of this as well. It wasn't just the bovines years ago. Others have been found like this, dead bodies as well. Again, seemingly an animal attack. But the Mechanicus survivors inform the rogue trader, less than the Fetids, and the Fetids find out later on, that the humans in the city in the south have agreed to trade, but only if we hand them the Fetids. So The snippet goes on, and the Fetids find this deal out. It seems the rogue trader doesn't quite agree with what the Mechanicus have said about, yeah, we should go along with this. By now, the cat woman has aged to about middle age. The rogue trader has aged a little bit, but it seems as if he's become quite wealthy, as there are times when he looks rather youthful and glowing. The ecclesiarchy have built their temple. A large number of human settlers were placed on the world, along with a decent garrison of what are now PDF, but were before ship defense forces, or at least some of them were. A few more years go by. The Fetids don't know what happened in these few more years. All they know is that they got a distress call from the rogue trader. That a huge force of abominations had appeared in the plains. They don't know where they came from, but all forces are going to be used to wipe them out. The Fetids gather up everyone they can. Every warrior, every fighter is gathered. That can be. A lot of them are armed with really, really nice equipment. So that you see through the eyes of the Fetid girl who is leading the charge. They get to the forest. They get to the start of the plains from the forest. The rogue traders group have moved in from the east, from his monolith. There is another group of ecclesiarchal members to the west. In the Great Plains, there is a gigantic horde of mutants. Huge. Tens of thousands of them, armed with really shoddy equipment, but some of them do have archaeotech devices. Maybe they're fucked. Maybe they only fire once out of every 10, but the devastation they cause is unbelievable. Also to their own troops. It is almost like a chaotic horde, only they don't have the symbols of chaos, but they are all deformed. So the ecclesiarchy and the humans are fighting the horde. The Fetids seem to have got there late. As the Fetids begin moving in, war horns are heard from the south as another army appears to approach from the south. The Fetids have no idea what this is. The noises that are coming in, it's not just war horns, it's screeching war horns that come from the south are just alien to them. But they do their best, and there's again snippets of images go past of she's using her powers. This Fetid is going all out. And it's impressive. It's Astra it's like warp lightning and stuff like this. And there's another number of Fetids who are of the cat variety who are all also using these powers. However, something happens. You don't exactly know what, but all of a sudden, Fetids are falling fast. And there's a cry of traitors as your vision goes to the west, and you can see the ecclesiarchal side charging the Fetid side, mowing them down with bolter fire. Weird women in old armor, you're not quite sure, but they're just hacking away at Fetids, and you're trying to gather your forces and get them back to regroup, to go east, fall back east, get to the rogue trader. They're your allies. And as you move to the east, you see the rogue traders getting destroyed. The army from the south has smashed into them with twisted and corrupted machines almost, but their vehicles, like gravitic landers, have been loaded up with explosives and just crash into the rogue traders' forces, igniting and wiping out whole sections of their lines. There's pandemonium as groups just start scattering. The mutants from the middle were almost wiped out. There's only a few of them, and that's when you start seeing the bovine one. Twisted creatures, bloated with extra muscle, the skin flayed from their skulls, charging into your lines, the rogue traders' lines, the ecclesiarchal lines, and there's utter confusion as the war horn sounds again, and the ecclesiarchal line is obliterated. There is just this horrible shrieking sound as a mile of the plains is just ripped up. There's a red mist that falls into the air as all of a sudden it is a full-scale retreat. No one is trying to be a hero, as it is just flee, run north, as these corrupted metal monstrosities, none of which are symmetrical. However, your group seems to gather up. Enough of your forces remain that by the time you get to the forest, you are able to gather up your forces and leave, to get the fuck out of there. You pull everyone you can to the northern mountain range, to where you have your best defensive position before the northern base. And you just live through, again, it's a few moments, but again, you can tell that days and days are passing, where the Fetids are just trying to hold this small opening to their last stronghold, as wave upon wave of twisted thing is sent at them. And they are not winning. The last moments of this Fetid's life are of piercing pain, as they are carried away from the battlefield. They're carried back up north to their sanctum. And you do one last memory transference to another Fetid. To Holly. Sorry, not Holly, Harmony. The Elder. Her memories go on for the previous one, not Harmony. Her memories go on for a little bit longer before it will switch to Harmony. Harmony sees wounded Fetids coming in. Some humans are brought back as well. There's a few of them, but not many, including a red-robed tech priest, who seems to be muttering about reactivating a device. The device must be reactivated. The last mention of the rogue traders that Harmony has is that they will get the device started. They will cleanse this evil. They seem to have known where it was, but there are no other communications from them. And then a few days later, after no more Fetids are returning, the aurora begins once more. As looking at the time, that is where we will end this episode. There's not going to be that much more that you will see before basically Harmony is looking at you all. So that was from the Fetid side, at the very least. Their two catastrophic events. And the reason why they are somewhat shady or not as trusting to humans. So, I know that was a bit of a lore dump. You've had like 45 minutes or more of just me talking, so I'll make this brief. Thank you all so much for watching. If you got this far, you are a legend. And take care, everyone, and hopefully I will see you all in the next episode. I can't remember my outro. Take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.